Catholics, we celebrate this whole month of October to Our Lady of the Holy Rosary. This Holy Rosary is so powerful because it is a meditation on the life of Jesus Christ. This Holy Rosary is the battle against all evil.
Catholics like to pride themselves off of stuff called sacred tradition, that they hold the traditions of the apostles from the first century. However, the Rosary is an extremely contradiction to that. It was created or started in the 13th century, so 1,200 years after the time of Jesus. And listen to this. Listen to how it got started. So it says Our Lady, and so in Catholicism they always refer to Mary as Our Lady, and it's just Our Lady of somewhere, wherever she appeared. That's where she is. And so Our Lady appeared to Saint Dominic, the founder of the Dominican order, in the church, and it says it was in France. Tradition holds that she handed Saint Dominic a rosary and asked him for Christians to pray the Hail Mary. So now we have Mary appearing, a spirit who claims to be Mary, appearing to Dominic, and he hands her a rosary. And he says, asked him for Christians to pray the Hail Mary, the Our Father, and Glory Be prayers instead of the Psalms. We should highlight that. We have a spirit telling people to focus on this, not the Bible. Focus on this, not God's word, the Psalms. And then he says, she gave St. Dominic the original 15 decades to pray the rosary. The additional 5 decades came later with Pope John II in 2002. So this is still like brand new stuff. And it says, when the Blessed Mother appeared to St. Dominic, she also gave him 15 promises for those who would be devoted to praying the rosary. And this is where it gets ugly. So not only do they give Mary and the Litany of Loretto, people can look this up, the Litany of Loretto, they give her titles and positions that are basically synonymous with the titles and positions reserved to God alone. And they call her all these different titles. But some of these are promises that St. Dominic got if you pray the rosary. And this is where Catholics, whether they know this or not, this is not a condemned teaching by the Roman Catholic institution. This is something that they say is not too bad of a thing. So one of the promises is, to all those who recite my rosary devoutly, I promise my special protection and very great graces. So now she's going to protect people who say their rosary. It's a very powerful armor against hell, and it shall destroy, deliver from sin, and shall dispel heresy. It says, those who trust themselves to me through the rosary shall not perish. Shall not perish. If you trust yourself to the rosary, this is another gospel. And then he goes on. It goes on, the 15 promises. I won't read them all, but it says, I will deliver very promptly from purgatory the souls devoted to my rosary. What you ask through my rosary, you shall obtain. Those who recite my rosary faithfully are all my beloved children and brothers and sisters of Jesus Christ. So here we have there's 15 different promises that were given by a spirit to a man, claimed to have seen Mary, telling him to pray. And so she's making these promises to him, and there's different quotes. Father Hugh Priam on Catholic Answers describes it as being reasonable to believe, given the great force with which Our Lady has asked us to pray her rosary through the years. And so they put an incredible amount of focus and intention on the rosary and praying to Mary as if she helps them. The problem is that it takes away the power and authority of God to help us. God is our help in time of need. When we're struggling, we go to the throne of grace to obtain mercy. We don't go to Mary and the saints. And so what that does is it puts you in a position now where you have to go through other people to get to Jesus or God. And I hear people say this before. They'll say, well, God the Father is busy. And so we got to go through the saints and Mary to be able to, they take our prayers and go to him. But that puts them in a position of being omniscient, all-knowing, and omnipresent, all-present. These are part of the 4 incommunicable attributes that are to God alone. Because if millions of people are praying to Mary all around the world, how is she supposed to hear all those millions of people in all those different languages, then discern which ones are a priority to bring to Jesus? You see, when you start to peel back the layers, you start to give them a position of deity. Now, they won't say that she's God. They'll say she's less than God, but by their actions, we will know them. And this is what they're doing. And so this is the practice of the rosary.
And to me, it reminded me of like Hinduism, with these beads and this ritualistic prayer.
And hey, for anybody else who just loves learning God's word in context, really learning anything in context, I want to invite you to come along with me in a book-by-book summary going through the entire Bible in chronological order, where I add extra historical backgrounds, insights from a Jewish perspective. We talk about typology, end times, prophecy, and so much more. It takes about an hour to complete. It's not something you pay for. It's not a course. It's just a 1-hour video going through the entire Bible, book by book. Just comment summary below, and I'll send it to you.